Hello, before we start the video, I just want you to see this screen here. I'll be providing this down in the description as well. This is just kind of a time map out of what is being covered at what time. So as you can see there, I do an intro, my goal, and then I do a Q&A. And then at the end, I do an email sign up where you can sign up for a Anime Studio Pros newsletter. So just so you don't have to watch all the boring stuff, if there's something that interests you as that you can see here, this is the things that we covered in the Pros Hangout. This was the first ever Pros Hangout, and there was a lot of technical difficulties, unfortunately. That seems to be the case for everything that you first start. So if you want to find all of this information, it will be down in the description, so you can skip to certain videos that you want to see. I just thought I'd let you know this before letting it start, and enjoy it. Welcome to the first ever Anime Studio Pros Hangout. My name is McCoy Buck. I am the creator of Anime Studio Pros. And we are going to be doing a couple of things today about Anime Studio. We'll be discussing things about Anime Studio itself, the group, and then when we get more viewers here, we will go ahead and do some Q&A for anyone who has any questions. We'll go ahead and get those answered. All right, but let's go ahead and get started. Let me pull up some things here. Let's see. Okay, so first off, what I wanted to go over was just of the Facebook group itself. Okay, so the Facebook group, if you are not part of it, if you are seeing this later than the live viewing now, the Facebook group is called Anime Studio Pros. I created this probably about 4.5 months ago, and it has grown pretty well. We are at 300 members currently. We have an awesome community of lots of people who love to share different things that they have created in Anime Studio. This is a place to share your animations. This is a place to obviously share tips, tricks, techniques, ideas, different things that inspire you, things like that. It is all to be Anime Studio related. So things like, oh, here's this really cool Photoshop drawing. I mean, that's fine, but if it's not going to be like incorporated into Anime Studio in some way, it's not going to be Anime Studio related, obviously. So I created this group with a couple things in mind. Let me go back to my little notes here. Okay, so my ultimate goal for this group when I created it was basically, as it says there, I want the Anime Studio Pros to be the ultimate resource for everything Anime Studio on social media. Okay, so on social media currently, Anime Studio, the actual software creators, have a Facebook page that is great. But the thing with Facebook pages is just like the Facebook page that I created for the Anime Studios Pros group, there's not a lot of communication back and forth. Okay, so there is basically just promotional things, sharing videos, stuff like that. But you can't get that one-on-one communication that you can when you are in the group, obviously. So I created the group for that reason. I wanted people to be able to help one another, as well as I wanted to be able to help other people as well. So I created the group for that reason. This group, with this whole, I guess, with the Anime Studio Pros name, this is what I was hoping that this would do. So I hope it introduce more users to Anime Studio. I know there's lots of people coming from Flash, from Toon Boom Studio, different animation softwares altogether. And I want to introduce more people to Anime Studio, let them see the potential of Anime Studio, because unfortunately, I think it's just the way it's been marketed. It's been marketed maybe to the wrong target audience with the name Anime Studio, where when the people of the niche, they actually try out for the software themselves and they are anime creators, they come to find the Anime Studio is not exactly what they thought it would be. So this is more to introduce what Anime Studio truly is. People see it as like a puppet making animation software. I don't know. People just see that it doesn't have much potential, whereas many people on the group have already proven its potential, and Anime Studio's potential still has yet to be proved, I guess you could say. So that is basically one of the reasons why I became an instructor on Udemy. Let me see if I can pull that up as well. Like I said, I have so many stinking windows. Okay, so I became an instructor on Udemy. Let's see. So I just searched for my name. Let's see if I can find something in my course. So this is me. Obviously, this is my profile on Udemy. And I created 2 groups, or not 2 groups. I created 2 courses, as you can see here. One is the character design made easy with Anime Studio Pro, and the other one's character rigging made easy in Anime Studio Pro. Now, as you can see here, I have 3,124 students. This one, along with my buddy Jeremy Alexander, who's a co-instructor. This is what we started with. Okay, so this, just by itself, we have, I think it's, let me just click it and see how many. Oh, it's gonna want me to enter in the thing. So if I just enter in a character into the search, we're gonna be the top ones that are gonna come up. It's a very popular course and it's been doing really well. And we have 1,300 students. So we have over 1,300 students in this course. And to tell you the truth, about 90% of the students haven't even heard of Anime Studio. Jeremy and I, we've been able to talk one-on-one with these people. We'll send out, with the students, we've been able to send out messages to them and get responses back. And we find out that they have never even heard or have touched Anime Studio. What drew them to the course was character design, and then maybe this part made easy, but they never heard of this part right here, Anime Studio Pro. Okay, so we are introducing more and more people simply through this course to Anime Studio, and people are able to see the potential of Anime Studio, because basically, I don't know, because we've created the course to show them the potential that it actually has compared to the rumors that they might have heard. Okay, so that is one of the things that we have done with the Anime Studio name. So going back to my notes, let's see here. Okay, so other than creating the name, introducing more people, we've also helped people, the first-time users, or this is what I want to do, is I want to help the first-time users who really struggle with Anime Studio. There is an awesome source on the internet that Smith Micro have provided called Lost Marble, and it's a forum, and it's a really great place to go, but it's not, I don't know, it's not hyped up enough. I don't know. It's kind of a hard resource to find unless you are diligently searching for it or know where to go. Whereas social media, everyone is on social media, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. People are always on some type of social media, and I want those people that are on social media to be able to find their resource on the social media. Therefore, that led into creating the group. I also wanted to build more resources for other people to share their work, whether that be tips, tricks, ideas, techniques. That way they can learn from other people and other people can learn from them. And I also wanted to help people to motivate one another. Okay, so that is the ultimate goal for the Anime Studio Pros group. Okay, so I asked the question, how are we going to do this? Well, the YouTube channel, Anime Studio Pros, the official YouTube channel, had been created. We got a Facebook page. I just created a Twitter account, and Jeremy and I, we are instructors of Anime Studio as well on the Udemy platform, in order to bring people that have never even heard of Anime Studio to the software, basically. Okay, so over time, because I am really new to this, I've never created a group before, and I'm learning as you guys are learning and everything else. Over time, I've been asking questions to the group of, hey, how can I make this better? How can I improve? Okay. Because sometimes we'll have our days where the group will do really, really well. And there'll be a lot of discussion. There'll be a lot of things going on. And then there's just some days where it's just dead. And so I wanted to find out, what can I do to make the Anime Studio Pros group a lot stronger, a lot more involved. And so these are different suggestions that have been given. If there's anyone who is watching this right now, if you have any questions, I just want to say this right now. You can ask questions using this. I'll pull this up. This is probably going to break the computer. But using this little spot right here, the Q&A, okay? So if you have that open, be sure to click the Q&A right there. Okay, so that's where you'll be able to post your questions. So I went to the group itself, and I asked the members of the group, how can we make this better? And we got some pretty awesome responses. Want to talk more Anime Studio. And then there was those that want to teach Anime Studio. There's those that want to share, want to learn animation techniques. A little funny one there, just saying they want to be a troll. And others wanting to promote, okay? So the whole point of the group, and I've kind of been taking advantage of this just because it's all new to me. And as I'm releasing things on Udemy, I've had students and I've had members from the group ask me to post the promotions and stuff in the group so they can get it. And so other people can see it. And I've been doing that, but it felt like I've been doing it a little bit excessively based off of requests. Therefore, I created the Facebook page in order to kind of funnel down, or kind of to push it all to the other side. So it's not on the Facebook group. Facebook group's for discussion, but I wanted to push it over to the page itself. Okay, so that's what I did with the Anime Studio page, the Facebook page. And then I got, what would you like to see more in the Facebook group? So in the Facebook group itself, people want to see more tutorials, more animations, more discussions, want to see more hand-drawn tutorials, and how to draw things in general, okay? So over time, the group will continue to improve. I still need a lot of help from you pros as members of the group. Because I am new to this, I am learning as I go, and I'm doing the best that I can. But like I said, this is my ultimate goal. I want the Anime Studio Pros, that name, I want Anime Studio Pros to be the ultimate resource for everything Anime Studio on social media. So if you have any questions, I know we've now got a few viewers watching now live in the stream here. So feel free to ask any questions if you have any, because we're going to move on to the next thing here. And let me pull up my software here. Okay, so that was just a little bit about me. That was about the group and its future, what my vision is for the group. If I think it's Azure, I don't know. I think if she is here, as well as Adnan and all the other ones that had questions, I'm going to now go through and answer your questions that you had about lip syncing and different things like that. Now, please note, I've been using Anime Studio for a little over a year, okay? I'm not quite the professional when it comes to everything animation, but I am doing my best, and I will help you the best I can with this short little example. Okay, so let's answer Adnan's question first, which is with lip syncing. Okay, so Adnan, you had the question as how you can do Papagayo 2D. To be completely honest with you, I've never even used Papagayo at all with any of my lip syncing characters that I have done. Okay, what I want to introduce to you, and I know I have you as a subscriber on my YouTube channel, and you've seen this on my YouTube channel, but there's two ways that you can go about doing lip syncing, and that is with Smart Bones, which, as you can see here, if I manipulate the mouth there, you can see it moving up and everything. Okay, that's supposed to be width. That actually doesn't look like width. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But so you have the option to be able to animate your lip sync with Smart Bones. And then you have what's called switch layers. Okay, so this Batman character, let me bring the microphone or the speaker up close to the microphone. I am Batman. Okay, so this is something that I created using switch layers. I did the lip syncing with switch layers in Anime Studio. Okay, so to answer your question, as far as how you can do it with Papagayo, I don't know, to be completely honest. But I think what Papagayo does is it really limits your ability as an animator to kind of go beyond, okay? Because Papagayo, I've seen lip syncing with that software, and though it does a pretty good job, it doesn't do a good enough job. Okay, the mouth moves way too quick. It tries programmatically to match up with the audio, but it doesn't do a very good job. I will do maybe about, let's see here. You know what? I'm going to show you how to do just this real quick of I am Batman. Okay, I'm going to use this example. So let me go ahead and save this real quick. Let's just call it Batman lip sync. Okay. This is gonna be a little bit difficult because this is live, so this will probably end up terrible. I do not know. But let's go to our mouth, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna erase. This is all your switch layers, and this is what I'm gonna teach you real quick. But I'm just gonna close this, turn those all off. So now the motion, everything's still gonna go through. He's gonna still be able to throw his little boomerang thing. But let's go ahead, and what I did is, and this is based off Jared Hunley's tutorial, okay? So I don't want to take any credit of this of my own. This is all Jared Hunley's work here. I just followed his tutorial, drew up the character, and just kind of did my own different thing compared to what he did. But what I did is I created each of these mouth shapes in Anime Studio. So you got your N, your T, your I, and your Ah. Okay, and then just the mouth. So that's all I did. These are all the shapes that I had for when I went through I am Batman. This is about it. This is all I needed. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you probably with when it comes to lip syncing, it's recommended to at least have your sound shapes coming out of the mouth or the mouth forming before the sound even happens. Okay, so it's kind of a timing thing. So right here, he's saying I'm, but let's real quick before I get ahead of myself, let's go ahead and have his mouth shut. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. So let me just drag this all the way out so his mouth is shut all the way. So he's breathing. Okay, and before he opens his mouth, he's gonna say I. Okay, let me see what I have for my other shapes. Seems like I'm missing a few. That's interesting. I can't believe that's all I use. So as you can see there, what I did instead of using, let's see, what's this one? Okay, so T actually might work a little bit better. But what I'm doing is I'm basically just substituting what would work best for the mouth shapes. I don't really have too much of a selection. I have my N, I have T, I have ah, and I have mouth close. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm basically, and you have to do this with yourself when you speak I. What shape is your mouth making? Okay, it's not necessarily either what shape is your mouth making, it's how is your mouth matching up with the sound that's coming out of your mouth. Okay, so right here, let's go back to the main switch layer, and we'll just, I don't know, maybe close it. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so we'll just look at that. So all I did is I just went through, matched up the audio with what could be the right switch layers. I'll have to see what it looks like in order to see if it's correct or not. So as you can see there, it's a little slow. So what I would do is I would have his mouth closed a little bit quicker. Probably wouldn't have his mouth closed all the way right there. So I'll just take that out, just selecting that and hitting delete. And then he's going to say Batman, like really rough. So let's try to get the most wide open mouth shape we can get there. It's like my T for the bat. And then he's going to go and he's going to close his mouth. And we'll probably do the T shape again because that's all I got to work with. And close his mouth. Okay, so this is just a really quick thing. If I need to, I'll do a more in-depth tutorial. But this is to show you, this is how easy it is. This is why you don't need to use Papagayo, okay? Because it's not going to be efficient. If you do things if you do things yourself and you control it yourself, you'll have a lot more better results than having some computer program control it for you. Okay, so that's all you have to do for switch layers. With lip sync, just check out my Dr. Cure tutorial. If you need me to show you how to put together a mouth with SmartBones, I can show you how to do that. But SmartBones, I mean, I can tell you this, it looks pretty good. I'll play it out real quick. Probably seen it.
Hi, I'm Smiley Guy, and
So let's, oh, the anti-aliasing is on. Wow, this looks terrible.
I like to smile.
Okay, so let's really random animation. I forgot how stupid that was. But basically with SmartBones, I'll turn the bones back on. You can see all the work that goes into it. I can't tell you how long it took me because the thing about SmartBones that is good is you can use different emotions with your animation and it's awesome. But with switch layers, I mean, it's a little bit more limited. But look how fast I was able to make. Look how fast I was able to make that lip sync little thing right there. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay, so we got a few more viewers I can see. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and click the Q&A right here. You can ask any questions as we go. Right now, I'm just explaining lip syncing for a question that was asked before. So hopefully this answers Adnan's question because he was the one that asked it. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so Azure, I am so sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but you asked about keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so I don't know what keyboard shortcuts you do or don't know, but I can point you to a spot where you can hopefully, because I know the manual doesn't cover everything for some weird reason, but where you can find most of the keyboard shortcuts. Okay, let's see here. So I'm just typing keyboard shortcuts. I probably should have just looked in the, there we go. Okay, so you got a ton of options to work with here. Okay, so you have your menu shortcuts. It's kind of hard I'll have to put something together of which keyboard shortcuts I use the most because there's only so many that you need as you're going along. But let's see here. So this is where you would go. All that I clicked on is that same. I don't want to close that fully. Okay, well, it looks like it's gonna make me. It's just in your help menu, and I just went to my help. Okay, and that's where you're gonna find all this information. Is just under the help. Okay, and then I just searched it for the keyboard shortcuts. Obviously, as you can see there's gonna be a ton that you'll be using. If I was to draw something out, I mean, this is basically what I would be using. Let's just go real quick. So A on my keyboard for the add point tool, T to select a point. Let's see here, C to curve a point. I mean, these are all things that I know that you know how to use. One that's really good if you want to bring in like a tracing image that Jeremy Alexander mentioned in one of our courses that I actually didn't know myself is Control Y. Okay, and that helps you to select an image. That's the same thing as going to your file, Anime Studio object, and then importing your Anime Studio object for tracing. Or sorry, either that or where the heck is it? If any of the viewers remember how to do tracing, you can help me out here because I don't remember. What the heck? Oh, there it is. Import tracing image. Okay, so that's Control Y on the keyboard. I guess when you get into binding, oh, I will tell you one that has been a lifesaver for me. Okay, let me make a quick few shapes on a quick couple quick layers here. Okay, this is gonna be the ugliest looking thing, but this is just an example. Okay, so what I'm gonna do real quick, so I just forgot to create new layers, is Alt right click. When you Alt right click something, this is a time saver. What it's gonna do is it's gonna take you straight to that layer. So Alt right click will take me straight to this layer. And because they're all in the same layer, that's not gonna help. Let me go ahead and put it on that layer, and I will Alt right click and put it on that layer. Okay, so these are all on separate layers. Alt right click will save you so much time, especially when you're wanting to do binding with your bones. Okay, so something that I'll do right now. Gosh, I can't even do anything with this example. This is a terrible example. But say this was different body parts or limbs. These were arms and legs and stuff like that. If you go Alt right, well, let's say you draw your bones first. So you have a bone there, you have a bone there, and you have a bone there, okay? Because you draw your bones universally on this one bone layer. But say I wanted to bind each of those layers with the layer bind tool, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Alt right click. Let's see here. Make sure the bone is, what is going on? Make sure the bone is selected, highlighted. What the heck? That is really weird. It's not giving me. Okay, let me make sure these. Oh, that's why. Okay, so those aren't even in the thing. So make sure it's nested. I was about to have a heart attack there trying to figure that out. Okay, so I created the whole bone layer thing there. And then I went and I did Alt right click to bind a layer. Alt right click, bind a layer. Alt right click, bind a layer. If you don't believe me, these are all, once I take the strength down, these are all bound to their respective layers. Oops. You know what? I accidentally had them all parented together. To unparent, here's another quick tip thing if you didn't know this. Alt click the bone, click off. Because this is the parent bone, that's not going to work. It's where the arrows are coming off of. I talk about this in my Udemy course for rigging. Okay, so now they're all bound to their separate layers. Okay, and you can do that with arms, you can do that with legs, you can do that with anything. Just Alt right click to select your layers. That is one of the most handiest keyboard shortcuts that I know. Okay, so as far as as far as keyboard shortcuts, I'm sorry if that's like a terrible example, but that's all I have for keyboard shortcuts. I know you can also go into your let's see here. Let's see if I can remember which one it is. Edit keyboard shortcuts. So you have all your options right here for your keyboard shortcuts as well. Okay, along with your Anime Studio help guide for the manual. But here, this is where you can actually change your keyboard shortcuts as well. So if you don't want to have your add point tool A on the keyboard, you can change it to B or C or whatever you'd like to do. Okay. And it's basically, as far as I know, let's see here. I haven't done this myself because I just use Anime Studio's default, but I know you can do this. I'll have to, if you need me to, I can provide the link to the webinar that they've already went over this when they were going over the new features of Anime Studio Pro 11. If you have Anime Studio Pro 11, that is, which I think you do because you're doing frame by frame the other day. But yeah, so this just allows you to be able to change your keyboard shortcuts. Okay. So for those that are viewing right now, if you have any questions right now, I can definitely answer any questions that you may have. I guess we moved more into the question part at this second here. But if not, I still have a couple other things that I can go over. Let me see here. Well, yeah, so this is basically a time filler. But what I can do is I can actually do the rest of Rigby's body if nobody has any questions, just to fill up the rest of the hour and kind of explain things as I go. And as people are watching, if they're like, oh, hey, how do you do that? I can answer any of those questions as well. Okay. So far, no questions. So let me go ahead and open up Rigby. Okay. So this is where we left off from my actual Let's Draw, but we're going to do a Let's Draw live. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so I am going to pull up the image. Let me find it real quick on the internet. This is Rigby. Oh, what's it called? Hand boning. Okay, so let me bring up his original mouth. Okay, so that was his original mouth. He was frowning. So I have my image here now and I can see it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get into the drawing part of Rigby. So yeah, if any of you have any questions, just feel free to interrupt me at any time, and I will gladly answer any questions that you may have. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start with his body now. So we got the head, and let me go ahead and do body. All right, so the body is going to be the same thing. We are going to put it into a group layer so that we can mask it, because we're going to need to mask his body as well. I don't think this will contain his arms or anything. This will just contain his body. So let me add a point and get to work here. Okay, so I'm just dragging down. I'm just making his simple body shape right now. Okay, so that is definitely not the color or anything that I want there. So let me go to my tool here. What color is that? Okay, let's see if I can pick up. Oh, there we go. So there we go. I had to pick up the fill and the stroke. All right, so that's basically his body shape there. Just a really simple looking body shape. And that's all it is. When you got to think about drawing in Anime Studio, you just got to think about drawing in shapes, okay? Because that's basically all you're doing. You're just drawing shapes. All right, real quick, let's do his arms. Okay. Arms are gonna be a little bit tricky. Let's see what's going on. I think that was a question or something on. Okay, that was Facebook. Oh, okay. So Joel said the question function is not working on Hangouts. Well, that's great. Stupid Hangouts. Sorry, guys, if I provided you a really bad way to. Okay, sweet. Okay, so Joel, I can see you right now. I can see your questions. Awesome. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna go back to answering Joel's questions. Thank you, Joel, for messaging me on Facebook. I apologize for all that. Okay, so turns out I had to have the question little box open myself. All right, so he's asking 24 versus 30 frames per second. What is the best approach to mixed media projects? Ooh, okay. Well, that is a good question. Mixed media. Let's see. Well, to be quite honest with you, Joel, I do explainer videos for different businesses. And I would have to say either one of those is fine. I mean, you're not going to notice too big of a difference. I've been able to, I think with all of my work, let me just check this because I think it's just set at a default of 24 frames. Yeah. So 24 frames per second will work perfectly. That is what I've been using for all of my projects. Especially when you are doing something more cartoony style. I would also recommend doing things on 2s. That'll give you, let's go ahead and let's put our Batman on 2s real quick. I need some type of oh, you know what? I have a perfect animation that I have on twos. This is from my this is actually kind of a sneak peek of what you'll be making, but this is what I'll be using in my future Udemy course. This guy is on twos, and it's going to be really bad seeing this with the webinar software with Hangouts, Google Hangouts, but this is what it looks like on twos.
Hello there. I am a lumberjack. Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's recommended whenever you're doing faster motions, obviously to put those on ones, but everything on twos, and this is 24 frames per second.
Hello there.
And it's animation. I mean, it's pretty simple. So I would say this definitely helps, just to have it on 24 frames. For 30 frames, like I said, I tried to do like motion graph type stuff. I'll bring that up real quick. Let's see here. It's the Facebook. So this is what I did for the promo video. Oh, this isn't going to be a good example, but this is also on twos.
Be wondering why
I'll just turn off the sound on that. But this is just a part of the animation. Let me see if I can pull up the other one, if I can remember where it's at. I don't want to dig through all my files, because if it's not here, Keystone, my niche. Dang it. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to have it here. Maybe this is it. Nope. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I don't have the example on hand, but I have done motion graphic type artwork type thing, using everything on 24 frames, and even going 2 frames, doing it on twos, so every 2 frames as well. So it's totally up to you, but I would have to say between 24 and 30 frames, you're pretty safe either way. Anything lower than 24 frames, I think that's pushing it. Anything over like 60 frames or something like that, I believe that's just a little too much. So I hope that answers your question. Sorry. But yeah, so you said it defaults to 24. Stock video is 30. So yeah, I mean, you would be safe either way. If you plan on doing your compositing in After Effects, just remember to set, if you're doing PNG sequences, this is something I've messed up with, but be sure to set your PNG sequence to 24 frames per second as well. But yeah, so yeah, so that's basically it. So so the question in the Q&A is now working. So if any of you have any questions, please feel free to answer or ask any questions, and I'll be happy to answer as best I can. But yeah, I hope that answers your question, Joel. I don't know if you're able to see, or if you're able to chat with me. Just to type back. Send this out real quick, see if anyone can see that. But yeah, if that answers your question, and if you can chat back through that, that would be perfect. If not, the awesome thing about groups, and this is the whole reason why I created it and where I can see the real potential, is just like Anime Studio when they do their webinars. Oops, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. Let me share my screen real quick. Just like Anime Studio when they do their webinars, and if there's like any questions that I'm not able to answer on the Hangout, we could bring all this information over to the group, and I'm pretty sure you'll get some quick answers there, because there's a lot of straight up professional animators. I'm not anywhere close to professional level. I just do freelance work, and I'm an online instructor. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there'll be a ton of questions to be answered there as well. So yeah, any questions that aren't answered here, I'll definitely but ask those questions once again in the group. So if that helps at all, Joel, I hope that answers your question in some way or another. All right. But is anybody able to see my group chat as I'm sending information back to you guys? I don't know if this is able for two-way communication. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't look like it is. So what I'm trying to figure out right now, Joel, is how Hangouts works. It's putting your questions all over the place. It doesn't put them in order for some reason, which is really weird. But yeah, like I said, Joel, to answer your last question there, yeah. So After Effects people do work at 30. That is correct. So if you feel more comfortable putting your work at 30 frames per second as well, you can definitely do that. But like I said, if you're importing something like PNG sequences into After Effects, I'll just show you an example real quick. This is probably going to destroy my computer. I have so much stuff going on right now. But you can change your PNG sequences to 24 frames per second. Okay, I don't know how big of a difference people will notice. Because like I said, I do explainer videos, and I haven't had any issues with my compositing in After Effects. So let's see if we can answer that question quick for you while we wait for After Effects to load. Because I want to show you just a few examples of what I'm talking about. And like I said, this will hopefully not crash the whole thing. And we got about started a little bit late, so we probably got about another 10-15 minutes. But let me just show you a quick example, Joel, of what I mean. Okay, let's see here. So I'm gonna go into my intro. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. This is what I did in Anime Studio. Okay, so let's render this out real quick. But as you can see here, this is a PNG sequence. I just took the PNG image. I didn't take the background or anything from Anime Studio. But this is all done in Anime Studio. Besides this down here, you can't really do that in Anime Studio. The letter that's coming out right here, the typing letter, is After Effects. But this was done in 24 frames per second. And what I did is I took and I put my, let's just play this out real quick. Without any sound. Okay. So just that little opening sequence, that was done all in Anime Studio. And as you can see there, it looks pretty smooth. It doesn't look too bad at 24 frames per second. And that is what it's set at. So if I go to here, where the heck is it? So it is a PNG sequence. I think I need columns, frame rate. There we go. My frame rate was for some reason not there. Okay, so oops, 30. What's 30? Oh, okay. So that one I didn't set correctly. But what you can do is you can just go into, so this is set, as you said, Anime Studio is a set default of 24. After Effects, I believe, is a set 30. Just go into your right click, go to interpret footage, and After Effects is automatically going to interpret your footage at 30 frames per second. Right here, this is where you can change it. If you're using PNG sequences, this is where you can change it to 24 frames per second. So I hope that answers your question there, because all of my stuff looks pretty solid. I've used this for promo videos that have gotten really good feedback and results. And I got a buddy of mine who uses After Effects for professional work, and he said he didn't notice too bad of a difference there. So I hope that answers your question. I was gonna do like a Let's Draw, but I think I'll just keep this separate in a tutorial, because now we got some interaction going on, which is awesome. But I do not want to take everyone's time. I said this would start at 12 and it would go till 1. Unfortunately, if you're listening right now, it did start off really bad. I accidentally hit stop broadcast. There's some way you can pause this, and I accidentally hit stop broadcast, and it killed my link. It just destroyed it, and I had to create a new one. And that's why this one started off pretty rocky. But this will all be uploaded back to YouTube. I will edit all the boring parts out, so you don't have to watch any of that. But this will be something that I'll do a lot more often and get a lot better at. I don't think the next time I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be using Google Hangouts, because this wasn't a good idea. First off, I just found out you can only have 10 people on here, and we're pushing that limit. But Also, I think it would be easier if we just do like a YouTube stream. I hope it's interactive. I think you can ask questions and things like that as well. I'm hoping you can. But yeah, so next time we'll have to go with a different route as far as how to do all this. But I try to answer all of your questions the best I can, or get to them the best I can. But just to kind of wrap up here, let's see. If you do have any other questions, feel free to ask any questions. I know Joel's been awesome at asking questions here. But if anyone else has any questions about the group or of what you would like to see or not like to see, I don't know, just ask away, or bring your questions over to the group if you're not able to think of something. Yeah, just to kind of wrap up, I just want to thank everyone who has joined me in this Hangout. I wanted to mention, I have something exciting for everyone to know. Gosh dang, why will it not let me open my window? But in the Facebook, where is the Facebook page? So in the page, I have I call it the VIP sign up for the very important pro. I know, corny, huh? But you guys are important to me. You guys are awesome. It's because of all of you that I've been able to start all of this. But this is a sign up. This is where you can go to, I'll just click it real quick. This is where you can sign up for the Anime Studio Pros newsletter. Like I said, I introduced, well, a lot of you weren't here, but I introduced what my whole goal, what my whole plan is with Anime Studio Pros. With that name, I want it to be the ultimate resource on social media. Okay, so you have Lost Marble, that's outside of social media. You have the Anime Studio Pros Facebook group, or not Anime Studio Pros, the official Anime Studio software Facebook group, but you can't get a lot of connection with them. There's not a lot of back and forth feedback. It's just, hey, we're posting this promotion and this promotion, this promotion. Whereas what we have is we have the ability to communicate with one another, help each other, and that is through and that is through the Anime Studio Pros Facebook group, the page. I also have a Twitter account, etc. But I don't want to get into all that. What I want to talk about is this newsletter here. This will sign you up on an email list, which will allow you to receive, as it says here, new courses, updates, special deals, discounts, giveaways. These are going to be things that are only for emails, okay? Because I've been doing a little bit of promotion on the group, and I don't want to do that anymore. I've had a lot of people asking me for coupons, and I think I'm just either going to keep it in personal messages to give them those coupons, or just put everything on the Facebook page, because that's what Facebook pages are for more of the promotional things. And then you'll also see sneak peeks of what is to come. I've talked about it a little bit, but right now I have my character design course on Udemy. I'm doing the rigging, and in the future, I will have the animation course on Udemy, okay? So that is gonna give you sneak peeks of what is to come as far as what my progress was with that, and kind of give you sneak peeks of the video of what I've accomplished so far with the new course and with different things that I'm doing with Anime Studio. Okay, so this is all for your benefit. I'm really excited about this. All that I ask for, just with any other email sign up, is your email address, your first and last name. It's not required, your first and last name, but I would like to know who you are as well, because I'm going to be seeing all this information. And then just go through and just select your current subscriptions. If you're on the Facebook group, the Facebook page, Udemy course, YouTube channel. I just did the Twitter. I don't really know how to do Twitter too well, but I just set up the Twitter as well. So hopefully get some followers on there. But if you don't follow me on Twitter, it's not going to hurt my feelings. No worries. Okay. But yeah, so if you want more stuff, I also am planning on doing ebooks, planning on sharing different files. I plan on making different things and sharing them with you. So this guy right here, I can make him fully riggable. And if you're an email sign up, I can send you the rig and you can play with it yourself. And I can have a pre-made animation with it and all sorts of stuff, whatever you guys would like. I would love to do. And basically the whole reason why I'm doing this is just because I just want to help everyone out. Okay. And this is the best way I know how. And this is a really great way to be more involved with Anime Studio. I'm really excited about this. I hope you are too. And I hope after watching this, you sign up for the email list, because one of the only ways and the best way that I'm trying right now to help you is actually through these Udemy courses. This has been the most effective way by far. I've tried going through a YouTube platform, but something strange that I've noticed is people will pay more attention to the content they pay for rather than the free stuff that is there, but that is really long. So if I created a 30-minute video on YouTube, chances are people only going to watch like 5 minutes of it and they're gonna be like, and they'll skip to the end and be like, okay, that looks cool what he created, but that's 30 minutes long. I don't want to deal with it. Whereas if you pay for something, you are definitely going to get what you've put into it. Okay. So if you pay whatever amount it is that I'm asking for on my courses, for you guys are always going to get the discounts because you are the pros. You guys are awesome. But yeah, so I have different courses that are priced at different prices, but you guys will get a fraction of this price for sure. But you will even get a better price if you sign up for the email newsletter or email list or whatever they call these things. I call it the VIP sign up because you guys are very important pros. So if you sign up for that, perfect. And that's all I can do right now to help you. But I know this will help you along with staying engaged in the group. Please, please, please continue to post different things. You guys are doing an awesome job right now. I'm very proud of the group and of what it's become. It's really awesome to see the potential of Anime Studio and how it could spread to 300 people in almost less than 4 months. So that is basically it to wrap up. I just want to thank everyone who had attended this group hangout. Like I said, we will be doing group hangouts in the future. I would really like if someone could reach out to me, but I'd really like to actually have some kind of featured animator. I don't want to be the only one talking because I'm like dying here. I wonder how Victor Paredes did it and all those people on webinars, because it's hard to talk for an hour straight. So anyone who who wants to participate in the next pros hangout, please get in touch with me. Let me know. This will be set up a lot better. I don't think we'll do it through Google Hangouts. I think we'll do it through YouTube. I think that might be a little bit better, and we can get a lot more people on there because I didn't know this, but this only maxes out at 10. So that is it. If anyone has any more questions, I currently don't see anything new here, but I just want to thank you all for joining me for this short time or long time, however you want to see it. But I will continue to be on the groups and in the pages and everything. If you want to get in touch with me, feel free to personal message me or email me, and I will get in touch with you. And I just want to say thank you guys for everything that you guys have done to help keep this group going. It's because of all of you pros that this is thriving as it is. So I will have this uploaded to YouTube afterwards. I'll have it all edited so you can rewatch anything that was said here. But I hope to see you guys in the future hangouts. And that is it for this hangout. And I'll talk to you guys later.